Alright guys, Good Boy 32 here. Check it out. I'm sitting here in my kitchen, the home away from home. And I'm going to be doing some reloading stuff. And then process is how I clean my brass. Now this is basically a VR to a very good friend of mine, WTF SoCal. And the other night he did a video on how he does his brass. And he was talking about water spots. And I was like, haha, oh, I got this one licked. I'm going to show you how I do it. So, first thing I do is, I've got my brass that's already sorted. I've got a little scotch right here. And one of the things that I want to do is I want to show you exactly my process of doing this thing. Now, on the Frankford Arsenal, you've got caps on both ends. This thing is absolutely pretty cool. And what I would normally be doing if I wasn't working in my kitchen right here and showing you a video, I typically take this thing and I would put it in one of those big, gigantic tote containers. And what that does is, in the event while I'm gone, if something stupid happens, I don't have to worry about water damage or a leak or anything else like that. And also I can put it in a closet over here, put the lid on top of it. It breathes just fine for the motor, so I don't have to worry about that. But it closed the door and I don't have to worry about noise, which is nice. Okay, so a lot of the folks I saw when I was doing my research on this thing were talking about the noise level with their kids and being able to sleep. So what I normally do is I got all my brass separated in these containers right here. Now if you're wondering what this is a food dehydrator. Now when I was looking at buying this thing, some of the guys told me, they said, listen, you don't want to stick your brass in the oven for too long because it may weaken it or whatever. So that kind of freaked me out. I looked at the Frankford Arsenal brass drying rack things. Saw the reviews on that. They said it was horrible. So I started looking at some other options. And this is the Presto food dehydrator. Now I'm going to show you the process. We're going to do a real quick, we're going to wash brass. I'm going to show you how I do it. And then I'm going to show you how cool it is when you put it on here. So what we'll do, I want to show you real quickly. 100 pieces of 40 cal weighs 1 pound, 1.4 ounces. I want you to keep track of how many pounds I put in this thing. Now normally what I'll do is I'll take and I will put my pins in first. Now I know everybody's got their means and methods of doing this. And you know what? That's cool. This is mine. So I keep my pins in this because we're going to do wet tumbling. And the reason I keep them in here is because I can manipulate this thing into a point and I can just pour them on in there. And this is roughly about 5-6 pounds of pins right there. Stainless steel pins. So then what I do is I will take, and I'm going to fill this thing up to where I'm satisfied. Now let's keep track of this thing. 1 pound, 1.4 ounces is 100 cases. So that's 2 pounds, 15.1 ounces. And I use these little Chinese to-go containers too. They are awesome. I keep the Chinese to-go containers all the time. There's another 2 pound, 9.3 ounces. And then we'll do the math later on. I'll actually put it up on the screen so we can all figure it out. I'm not a mathematician. Okay, oh shit, I forgot to count that, but let's just say it's 2.9 pounds. 2 ounces. Okay, so I'm going to put another one on there. 2 pounds, 5.6 ounces. Okay, so that thing is filled up right there. So now, what I'm going to do, I've got these separation trays. I don't use the media separators that come with this thing. I use this guy right here, and you've seen this in a video before. This is kind of like those guys that do the mining, and it has the silk screen in the bottom which catches my pins. This catches the brass, and I clean them throughout like 100 at a time or whatever. And I'm going to show you that here in a few minutes. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to take this, put it out of the way. I'm going to take our bucket right here. I'm going to fill it up with hot water, because I'm going to fill it up with hot water prior to putting the soap in. You put your soap in first, you're going to have to put a bucket full of suds. Alright, so I'm going to pour that up almost to the top. It's about right there. So then what I do is I just take some, basically this is ultra dish detergent, doesn't matter. And to keep things consistent, this is interesting how I do this. I go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, a lot of people use the Lemon Shine, and I'll probably do that here in the near future, but for right now, I just use condensed lemon juice. And how much do I put in there? I kind of do it by feel. So we go There we go. That'll work. Very simple, very easy. We put our lid on here, just like that. The Frankford Arsenal deal. Somebody got a fire going on. So the Frankford Arsenal deal, you've got a timer on here. You can set it up to 3 hours. Now, I wash my brass for an hour and a half. So we'll go ahead, make sure that this is on tight. Make sure this other one's on tight. And the cool thing about the Frankford Arsenal is you do have the little window. You can see it through there. It's pretty neat. We'll go ahead and take this thing and set it right here. I'm going to set it for an hour and a half. And there you go. All right, so we're going to jump forward an hour and a half from now, and then I'm going to show you how I put everything on the drying racks, and then we'll let it dry, and we'll see how it turns out at the end of the day. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and cut this thing off. It's been an hour and a half. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead. I've got my little bucket right here. I got my little cup. And then what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to take this and I'm going to dump it in here. But I'm not going to do it the whole thing at one time. I do it just in bits and pieces. But you'll get the gist of it as we go through this thing. So stand by. Here we go. We'll go ahead, pull it off. This is what you got. And the great words of SoCal, this is some pretty nasty stuff when it comes out. So go ahead and set that to the side. Break the seal on this thing. Look familiar? There we go. All right, so just go ahead and pour that out. Now what I do is I run a little bit of hot water mixed with some cold water. So what I want to do is I want to burn off those suds from the soap. That's what it looks like inside there. And I'm just going to pour it onto the screen right here. As you can see, that dirt and that water is just filthy. So right now we don't yet have any of the casings coming out. There we go. We got a few. But what I want to do is I want to try and get rid of the suds as best I can. That's what we're ending up with right there. Surface right here is going to catch the brass. The pins are going to fall down below. And I'll pour out about that much right there. And at that point, I'm going to rinse it all off. Any of the pins that are lodged inside of the cases will come out inside and they'll be caught in that screen area down below. I'm going to shake them loose like that if you can hear me. And again, what's happening is the pins are being collected below, and right here I've got clean, fresh brass, just like that. And I'm going to store them in this container right here until we put them into the dryer. Repeat. So what you can see is now I'm collecting a lot of my pins. I'm going to go ahead and take one of my other bins because I don't want to put too much weight on that interior screen. I'll put these in here. Just like that. Go ahead and dump that out. Show you real quickly what that looks like with all the pins in there. We're going to rinse that out. And those pins will rinse right down into that bottom screened in area. There's my pins right there. No magnets, I don't have to worry about it, and guess what? The pins are clean. So for shits and giggles, what I want to do, I don't know if this thing will actually carry this much load, Well, let's see how many pounds we got. 10 pounds, 15.1 ounces. Very cool. So, roughly about a little over 1,000 cases. But, look how pretty those are right there. Okay, so, our next step, the dryer. Here we go. Alright, so what this thing is, this is a 6-tray food dehydrator. And basically, that's it. Presto Dehydrator. Food dehydrator. What we'll do is you take these individual trays like this. Now, in most cases, what I would simply do is I take them and put them down into the pan, the broiler pan in my oven. It worked, but what was happening was it was actually making it a deep, dark, not necessarily a real shiny brass like you see right here, but it was turning dark, and I didn't like that. But look at that, isn't that beautiful? So, I gave this a shot. So merely what we do is we take our little Chinese food cup. I'm going to wash it out real good. And we take it and we're going to stack it on these trays right here. So, 40 count, I'm not sure. I don't think it's going to slide around the outside a little bit. You got to be careful because around these outside areas right here, it'll actually fall through. 45 you don't have to worry about, 9 millimeter, but you only have to worry about it on the first tray, otherwise it's not that big a deal. Alright, we're going to take another tray, we're going to set it in place. Go ahead and lay those out on the tray. Spread those out, put them around there. Around there just like that. There we go. Put our top layer on. I'm going to set this thing to an hour and a half at 130 degrees. And there it is. And what it's doing is it's just basically taking air, moving it through it. It's hot, it's dry, and it's drying it up at a fast pace. But what it's not doing is it's not discoloring the brass or giving it that dark, deep thing. Next part of the video, we're going to go ahead and let this burn up for about an hour and a half and see how it goes. Alright guys, after about an hour and a half, I went ahead and extended it for another hour just for the kicks of it. 2.5 hours, wake up the next morning, and here's what we got. So, take the top off right here, that right there, and see if I can get that over to you. Voila. So I take the same container, I have some nice, and put that right there. We'll do the same thing for this rack. And there you go. 1,000 pieces of beautiful, clean, finished brass. Look at the insides of those things. Absolutely beautiful. Ready to go. I'll tell you what, no water spots. Absolutely none. And I don't know if it has something to do with the water. It could be. I know that WTF has some hard water out in his area. But absolutely love this, man. 1,000 cases ready to go. 40 cal. I wonder who might like to have these. Rick. Anyhow, guys, that's how I do it. I know it might seem a little bit much. A lot of guys have the patience. What they do is they clean it and they put it out on a towel and let it sit there for a couple of days. I don't have that time, that luxury. Probably do, but I'm impatient as I'll get out. It's like squirrel. But in any case, guys, that's it. That's how I do my brass. Very simple, very easy. Guys, if you would, please do me a favor. I'm going to put the link right there for WTF SoCal's YouTube channel. Go over there and take a look at it, man. He's got a lot of great stuff. And just an awesome fella. Alright guys, well that's it. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. I know it's probably rather boring for people who are not into reloading, but that's how we do it. But we end it always like this. Support the red, white, and blue. God bless America. God bless those men, women in uniform, 24/7 for our freedom. If freedom's not free, give me a thumbs up if you like the videos. Coda Boy 32 out.